Welcome back to Lena, my name, Luna the Moon, Lena Luna's Tarot channel. And today we are reading for Cherry, and it's about her 2021 and how it's gonna go, basically. Once again, if you are new to my channel, here's just a disclaimer that I am not a professional reader and I'm doing my best. Tarot reading is my hobby, so that's why I'm offering these to people who might be interested. And so please just be nice and take what resonates and leave the rest. I really do hope that it resonates though. After the reading, please do communicate with me about what you think about the reading, and basically that. Please consider to comment, like, and or subscribe, and share it to your friends. And that's it. Let's get into the reading. Okay, so let's see what the tarot cards say. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9. So your tarot card is sorry, brain lag. Your tarot card is the 9 of Cups in reverse. So first off, let's take a look at the service meaning. So 9 usually talks about completion or solitude, and the Suit of Cups talks about emotions, relationship, intimacy, and or creativity. It's also a water sign, so the situation, well, your year or whatever this thing is talking about, may have the characteristic of the element of water, or it may involve people of the water signs such as Cancer, Scorpio, and or Pisces. And the characteristics are cold, wet, and soft. Okay, and that's the service meaning. Let's take a look at the visual elements of this card. So this person looked very zen, like they're just closing their eyes, they're looking very peaceful, and it doesn't, I know that it's not really that. Yeah, they're standing, but when you are looking it upside down, it looks like they're in that I don't know how the hand goes, but that zen posture. And then they're just being very peaceful, and then there's these thing that looks like the wind, but like waves or something. So and then it's kind of around, it looks like cloud, but it kind of looks more like water at the same time. It's like fluffy water, if that makes sense. So, and there's also all these cups that's above them, but since it's opposite, so it's below them. So what it makes me think is that you're kind of in a very comfortable situation where because your eyes are closed, it might be because you're not truly seeing something, but then at the same time, because their eyes are so peaceful, it might not necessarily be a bad thing. It's not like they're being overflowed with water or anything. So maybe sometimes it's good not to see something and just just not be so overly critical over things. And there's these cups, which usually talks about emotion and things like that. And I would think that it basically means that if you let go of your emotion, and okay, there's a total of 10 cups, and there's 9 here, so you can still of course have your own values, judgments, emotions by yourself, inside of you, but then at the same time you should be able to try to let go of most of these, to like all these are like below them, below this person, right? So just like, yeah, letting it go and letting it fall, just peacefully, you know, just let it outside of you. And I feel like that's somehow what jumps out to me, is that like, as long as you are willing to stop being overly critical, you will be able to find the peace like this person, you know. Yeah, I don't know how I came to that conclusion, but yes. Let's go into the divinatory meaning. So this is the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups. In the old days, this was called the wish card. If it turns up in your reading, it meant that your wish would come true. Today, we don't go in as much, like so much for wishes being granted, preferring instead to earn our blessings through hard work. The truth probably lies in the middle ground. You've made some good choices, and the results are very pleasing to you. For this moment, at least, you feel like life is pretty darn good. So, the advice is to count your blessing, practice gratitude, share your good fortune with with others, and the reverse means overindulgence, selfishness, dissatisfaction, and regret. So I feel like it links pretty well, because if you are able to let go, then you won't be these things that's mentioned in reverse. And there, the advice is to like share your good fortune with others, practice gratitude. That's also like pretty in line with like letting go, and just like be like what Chinese call like 台法的, basically like just, I think the most like the translation that can get is just like stop being so overly critical, or just like be more lax with things, you know, just like everything will come and go and everything is fine. And it's just like you are being harsh on yourself if you look at everything too like black and white, you know. But yeah, that's that. And let's take a look at the Oracle card. You are good enough. Again, this card, I swear I've been getting this card for 3 days straight. Okay. So first up, let's talk about like how, okay, so this is a what's that thing called again? 2021 reading. So I would just say that this can be like an advice for you, like in general, in the year of 2021, or specific events. So hopefully when something truly comes up, and then you can remember this reading and say, hey, be more like chill with things, you know. I don't know, like, and it's just that, and things like being able to let go, it does take a lot of, like, a really long time. So I would think that it makes sense, since you're not asking about a very specific event. So I hope that is fine for you and it makes sense. Okay, and let's take a look at the You Are Good Enough card. It's a full moon in Virgo. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what leads you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far, and drawing this card suggests that you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other hand of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? Full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should then be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings result. The attune to the moon is that find a balance between the cosmic and mundane in your daily life. additional meaning for this card is that worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? See, overly critical. Sorry. An apology may be in order. Stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for someone else. The teaching is that full moon in Virgo is the time to declutter your life, your home, and your office. It's the time to sort out what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also the time to clear out your energies through salt baths and meditation, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it is a reminder that at any time, it is a good time to start living a healthier life. But yeah, I think that it would make sense. So basically, the advice for you for the next year, no matter what happens, just practice being more relaxed with yourself, more relaxed with what's happening around you. Just understand that you're good enough. Like, appreciate whatever happens, even though it's a bad thing. Like, I know it's really hard. Like, it's easy to say, but like, everything happens for a reason. And even if something bad happens, it's for you to be built into someone that's stronger and things like that when you actually do overcome it. And I will share a little bit about myself. So like, basically, I was not treated very nicely when I was a kid, and then I was crying about it every day for like 9 years, because that's how long the treatment, the very bad treatment, happened. And then at some point I just like kind of grew out of it. I was like, fuck that. Like, it was kind of more about like isolation, things like that. But then at some point I was just like, what's stealing friends? Like, if those people are actually like your friends, why would they be stolen? Blah, 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 blah. I forgot. There's like a lot of things about like people relations, a very like random, boring shit, you know? But then at some point I was just like, well, it is nice to have people around you, but like, they like having friends, they won't feed you and things like that. Like, okay, honestly, those are very different topics. But anyways, it's basically like, I have some things that I've been through that at that point I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. Because considering the fact that I was a kid, okay. But then after that, I kind of grew up and grew out of it, and I was just suddenly, I went like, ooh, why am I so sad about these? Like, basically, I forgot what clicked, but basically, I learned from it, I grew stronger, and I'm more independent now, and I realized the priorities of things, and what people is actually nice people that I should keep around, and things like that. There's also other life events that's very severe that led to some very, very sad moments. But then at the same time, like, maybe at that point I was depressed or whatever. But after that, it's hard. But if you're just because you can't really change anything in the past. So what you can do right now is just that. Okay, that happened. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing another thing that way, because that experience inspired you to be more mature and things like that. It's just basically, long story short, bad thing happened. Or honestly, it doesn't have to be bad. Basically, think of it as like a purchase. Things happen, and then there's a consequences, and that's like, things happen, that's a payment. Consequences is your product. And sometimes you buy some bad things. Sometimes you buy some good things. You can't really just refund all the time, right? But that's the tuition, you know? That's how you learn, that's how you grow as a person. So just be more relaxed, be more chill, appreciate everything, and your 2021 will be smooth. Honestly, it's applicable for like a long-term thing, even if it's not just 2021. So I really hope you sat through all my rant and it made sense. I did said some things that didn't really make sense, but yeah, like, please, like, if you want to discuss more, like, and try to understand what I was trying to say, then you can talk to me, since you did reach out to me on Twitter. But like, I just hope that it made sense, and I hope you have a great 2021.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Before saying goodbye once again, I will